In the paper, Basher Boys Home wanted a cook. So I answered and said I'd take the job. Then one of my brothers said, Anna, you don't want to work for those people. They always have are running an ad in the paper. Well, I had said yes, and I was not going to say I'm not coming. The boys were from 6 years old to 15 years. They were at the Basher home because their parents were divorced and most were remarried and did not want their sons. Bobby was the youngest. He was 6 years old, a cute little guy. He was small for 6 and couldn't learn, so he was in the first grade for 3 years because his first grade teacher and I worked together to keep him there. When Bobby was a baby, his parents had rats in the house, and one night the rat chewed Bobby's nose off. Bobby was in the hospital for a year then. They put a plastic nose on Bobby's face. It looked nice, but it didn't grow. I don't remember when Bobby came to Basher home, because he was there when I got there. The boys all liked Bobby, and of course, they would tease Bobby too. Do you tease your little brothers and sisters? But the boys loved to do that. We had a small table in the kitchen. Excuse me. And when Bobby got into mischief, we put him under the table, and the boys knew when Bobby is under the table, you don't tease him. One spring day, one spring Saturday afternoon, 6 boys went to the woods just near the home. They were 12 and 13. Are any of you 12 and 13? 1, 2, 3. Oh, you have quite a few 12 and 13. Well, that's what these boys were. Well, these boys spied a skunk, a big one. So several ran to the barn and got a gunny sack. How many of you know what a skunk is? You know what a skunk is. And how many know what a gunny sack is? That's sort of a, it was more, it wasn't paper, it was made of cloth. That they used for the barn and stuff. Of course, when the boys did something unusual, they had to bring it to the kitchen for me to see. Well, I did not want a smelly skunk in the kitchen. But they said, Anna, you need to see how pretty it is. Yes, I looked. It was pretty. The black fur was so black and the white strips were so white. You all know what a skunk looks like. The boys were not supposed to use the back door. It was a screen door because of too many flies. They asked, may we use the back door? I said, yes, please go. They took the skunk out in the front yard. I could watch them, and they made a big circle with the skunk in the middle. And if the skunk went this way, the boys went this way. Everywhere the skunk went, the boys moved. And the skunk was always in the middle of these 6 boys. And it was interesting to watch them. So they made a big circle where the skunk was in the middle. At supper time, they took the skunk back to her nest. Excuse me. But 6 boys ate their supper outdoors that night. Did you guess why? At one time, for a punishment, they had to wash pots and pans. Now, that was not my choice, but we managed. One evening, Bill, he was 12 then. He was to do the pots and pans, and I'd say, come on, Bill. Bill, let's get to work. Finally, I got tired of his poking, and I said, Bill, you know you have to wash pots and pans, so let's get it done. And in no time, he was finished, did a good job. Then I said, see, Bill, it didn't take you long to do those jobs after you decided to do it. Bill looked at me and said, but I didn't decide, you decided for me.